I sprint. I go in silence.
"30 seconds to battle."
At your service. Yes. Why prolong the inevitable? Like a whisper. Oh, yes.
The battle begins.
Post haste into the shadows. Quiet as cat's feet. Dispatched. Oh, as you bid. Quickly, quickly. Ah. See no a new target. Ah. Here I am.
Your top tower is under attack.
As you bid. Oh, as you bid. Here I am. Like a wolf. Attack. Quiet as cat's feet. See no evil. Whom shall I kill? Faster and stronger. You're mine now. I go in silence. Dispatched.
Well, then, could I have something there?
Point. See.
I've moved. Got his face.
Quietly now.
Not to return! The war may now continue!
Post haste. At your service. Quickly. Since you put it like that. As you bid. Yes. Made a killing. I strike. Silent as smoke. I sprint. Ah. I'm under attack. Yes. Exposed to the elements.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Healthy, stealthy, and wise. See no evil. I sprint. Quickly. Attack.
Radiant's
Silence.
courier has been killed.
Whom shall I kill? Quietly now. Yes. At your service. You, my friend, got owned. Like a whisper. Silent as smoke. Oh, yes. Oh, look, it's me. Post haste. Here I am. Oh, as you bid. Quick steel. Quiet as a cat's feet. Dispatch. Quickly, quickly. As you bid. Yes. Quickly. Yes. Here I am. I'm under attack. As you bid.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I sprint. Post haste. Cash on delivery. Oh, look, it's me. Since you put it like that. At your service. I go in silence. Quiet as cat's feet. Oh, as you bid. Oh, yes.
Your top tower is under attack.
Killing spree! Double kill!
Yes.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Quietly now. See no evil. Whom shall I kill? Quickly, quickly. At your service. I sprint.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Quiet as cat's feet. Since you put it like that. Like a whisper. For services rendered. Oh, yes. Silent like smoke. Where's the rush? Silent as smoke. Yes. Here I am. Feel my steel. Quickly, quickly. Illusion. Quickly.
That's exact.
Quietly now. Whom shall I kill? Death's bounty. I go in silence. Post haste, see no evil. Enough. Oh, as you bid. Dispatched. Oh, how I strike. Steeled and tempered. Oh, look, it's me. Yes, quickly. Oh, look, it's me. I go in silence. Post haste. Whom shall I kill? What shall I kill? Quietly now. Like a whisper. Silent as smoke. I'm under attack. Dispatched. Since you put it like that. Quiet as cat's feet. Yes. Defend yourself. I sprint. Quickly, quickly. Here I am. I fight. As you bid. Yes. Yes.
Invisibility.
Quick hit. At your service.
Your top tower is under attack.
Oh, as you bid. See no
Don't miss
evil.
out.
Yes.
Courage! Double kill!
Quietly now. Oh, yes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Double kill!
Seen to.
Your top tower is under attack. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
See no evil.
Sorry. It was lose-lose for me, or lose-lose for you.
Oh, as you bid.
If I spin for a while,
Expect to see less of me. As you bid.
Your top tower is under attack.
Post haste. silent as smoke. Quickly. I fight. At your service.
Your insides are all weak.
An exquisite. I go in silence. You're mine now. Here I am. Quickly.
Double kill!
Like a whisper.
The enemy's top tower is falling.
Quick steal. Dispatched. I sprint. Since you put it like that. Whom shall I kill? Attack. At your service. Defend yourself.
Rip your
Post haste.
Your
Whom
bottom
shall I
tower is under
kill?
attack.
As you bid. I oh, how I strike. My cunning grows. Since you put it like that. I see you. I sprint. Yes. Oh, as you bid. Like a whisper. Dispatched. See no evil. Silent as smoke. For services rendered. I'm under attack. Gatsby. Neutralize. You were my target. If you can see me, quickly. Oh, yes. Yes. Here I am. Quietly now. Oh, look, it's me. Quickly. I go in silence. Here I am. Whom shall I kill? Since you put it like that. Oh, now it's on. Yes. Oh, look, it's me. Dispatched. I sprint. Like a whisper. as you bid. Quickly, quickly. Quiet as cat's feet.
Your bottom tower
as
is
you
under
bid.
attack.
See no evil. Yes. At your service. Quietly
All
now.
the heights you need.
Yes. Who shall I kill? Quickly. Post haste. They'll never see this coming. Quiet as cat's feet. Stealth makes wealth. Yes.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Quietly now. Whom shall I kill?
Dire's structures are fortified.
As
I
you
was
bid.
meant to have this.
The enemy's middle tower
Not yet.
has fallen.
Like a whisper. Here I am. Quickly. I sprint. At your service. I go in silence. Oh, look, it's me. Dispatched.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Silent as smoke. Yes. Oh, as you bid. Quickly, quickly. Post haste. Since you put it like that. Oh, as you bid. Quietly now.
Your shrine has fallen to the dark.
Like a whisper. Oh, look, it's me. Yes. Quickly. I sprint. Dispatched. Oh,
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen.
those tastes. Since you put it like that.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. The enemy's bottom barracks have fallen. The enemy's bottom barracks have fallen. Your top tower is under attack. The enemy's middle barracks
Post
has
haste.
fallen.
I've killed dragons, less deserving of death.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Let me take another stab at this. As you bid. Quiet as a cat's meat. Since you put it like that. Here I am.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Like a whisper. Yes.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Quietly now. I go in silence.
Responsible.
Dispatched.
The enemy's top barracks has fallen. The enemy's top barracks has fallen. We now have mega creeps.
Assets. Yes. Oh, as you did.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
From a place beyond time, and time beyond counting, it shall be.
Prepare for battle.
Time flows. The march of time. Face forward. Not yet. Yes. My path unspools.
Get over it!
Road to oblivion.
Greetings, my friend.
Foreseen is forward.
First blood! The golden ones would expect no less.
Foreseen is
30
forward.
seconds to battle.
A path foreseen. Foreseen is forearmed. Dark portents ahead. I go.
The battle begins.
Time catches all. Inexorable. Inexorable. Time flows. I go. My path unspools. It shall be. Yes. I'm under attack. I'm not ready. Dark portents ahead.
Null and void.
The march of time. Road. Unkind. Rewind.
Oh, sloth alive!
Face forward. Ended. Your end comes. A path foreseen. Inexorable. Primal shard. My path on. I go.
Your middle tower is is under attack.
It shall be.
Spree! Double kill!
Dark portents ahead. A path foreseen. Face the future. Foreseen is forearmed. The march of time. Face forward.
No, 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 no.
Road to oblivion. Time flows. Yes.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
My path unspools. My powers, the march of time. Tide is money. It shall be. I'm under attack. Road to oblivion. Inexorable. Time flows. Your time runs out. I go. Time's up. Dark portents ahead. No. Attack. Yes. Not. Time is the cruelest cut. A path foreseen. Attack. Face forward.
This is a good opportunity to learn.
A path foreseen. My path unspools. I go. Time flows. Time to fight. Yes. Road to oblivion. Dark portents ahead. It shall be. My ears upon you. It's not time yet. It must be. As foretold. It must be. A timely increase in power.
What are you buying?
Inexorable. The march of time. Face the future. I go. Face forward. Inexorable. A path foreseen. Road to oblivion. Foreseen is forearmed. Feel my mace. My path unspoons. The march of time. Yes.
Haste.
It shall be. My foresight sharpens. Dark portents ahead. It shall be. My path unspools. Face forward. The march of time. Foreseen is forearmed. Dark portents ahead. Inexorable. Yes. Road to oblivion. Time's up. A path foreseen.
Your
Time
middle
is the
tower is under
cruelest
attack.
cut. Indeed. Time flows. I go. The march of time.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'll take that.
You see how
Return from Clatterine. I go. Fate takes you. Face forward. Your end comes. Foreseen
Your
is
middle tower is
forearmed.
under attack.
Inexorable. A path foreseen. Road to oblivion. Yes. Your time runs out.
Killing
It
spree!
is presaged.
Very
Time flows.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
My path unspools.
Your top tower is under attack.
Dark portents ahead.
Your top
It
tower
shall
is
be.
under attack.
Time is money.
Your top tower is under attack.
I'm here.
Your top
Road to
tower is
oblivion.
under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
A path foreseen. Dark portents ahead.
Your
The
top
march
tower
of
has
time.
been denied.
My path unspooled. Yes.
Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Blasted core.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Time is a river with many.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Face your doom.
Your middle tower is under
Face
attack.
forward. Inexorable.
Become
It shall be.
thank you.
Time flows.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
It shall be.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Road to oblivion. The
Your
march
bottom
of
tower
time.
is under attack.
Face forward.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Yes. Time
Your middle
flows.
tower has been denied.
I go. Tide is mighty.
Look, a spare me.
Well done. You really need to work on your attention span.
Coin for me.
So begins the final epoch. A path foreseen. Inexorable. My path unspools. Dark portents ahead. Face the future. My path.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Yes.
Your bottom tower has fallen.
Time is the cruelest cut. My control improves. Time.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
The march of time.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I was created to destroy
I
beings
go.
much greater.
A path foreseen. Inexorable. Face forward. It shall be. Road to oblivion. I'm here. Your end comes. Inexorable. I'm here. Face forward. Feel my mace. My path unspools. Face your doom. Time's up. Dark portents ahead. I'm not ready. I'm under attack. The march of time.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
A path foreseen.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's courier has been killed.
It shall be.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
It must be. Time flows. Road to oblivion. Attack. In my dreams.
I merely release the wraith within.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
Haste.
Your bottom tower is under attack. The enemy's top tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Time tells, the mace fails.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Face my here. Primal shard. My path unspools. A path foreseen. Time quickens. It shall be. Time flows. Road to oblivion. Inexorable. Attack. The march of time. Ended. Dark portents ahead. Inexorable. A path foreseen. I go. Face forward. Time flows. My path. March of time. Face the fury. Road to oblivion. I'm under attack. Double kill. Time is the cruelest cut.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It shall be. Time.
Enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I'm here. Time to fight. Dark portents ahead. Face forward. Your time runs out. Foreseen is forearmed. My path unspools. A path foreseen. Road to oblivion. Your end comes. Foreseen is forearmed. My control improves. Dark portents ahead. The march of time. I go. Inexorable. I'm here. flows. Yes. It shall be. Time flows. I'm here. Yes.
Which my matriarch will prize.
Not yet. Inexorable. Feel my mace.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
My powers
Top
grow.
tower has fallen.
A path foreseen. I go. Face forward. So it must be. The march of time. Face forward. The march of time. Yes. Time flows. Attack. I go. Road. Time's up. It shall be. My path on spools. A path foreseen.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Yes. Your time runs out. Time flows.
Dire structures are fortified.
I go. Dark portents ahead.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
My belt.
Double damage.
The march. Foreseen is war.
Your top tower is under attack.
Face forward.
Your top tower is under attack.
You're in, Cash.
has fallen.
Feel my mace.
The enemy's
Time is
middle
the
tower
coolest
has
cut.
fallen. The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Face your
The enemy's bottom barracks
The
has
march
fallen.
of time. Face forward. It shall be. Triple kill! Time flows.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack.
I go.
Your top tower has fallen. Radiant victory! 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Your turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I step into a new arena. I fear no beast.
Prepare for battle.
It's in the bag. A killing pace. Bones to crush. My steel thirsts. Who dares challenge? Yes. So I go.
30 seconds to battle.
Yes. Blood shall spatter. Shatter bones. Galloping. Soon you bleed. Yes. With steel and strength. Death runs. Yes. Yes. As I wish. A trampled road. No. A press. By horn and hoof. My steel thirsts. These fools attack me! Blood shall spatter. Galloping. As I wish. Oh. Attack! My blade sings. many bloodings. Downward strike. With steel and strength. Yes. I fear no beast. So I go. A killing peace. By horn and hoof. Yes. Shatterbones. Oh! Yes. No. Death runs. Who dares challenge? Yes. Yes. Oh, my shoes. Who dares challenge? Killing peace. All should flee. Attack. These fools attack me.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yes. Yes. Shatterbones. Break you. A double blade. Yes. Yes. I fear no beast. Was that supposed to hurt? Chop you open.
Mark!
The flick of my tail. Chop you open. My blade grows lighter. Attack! My steel bursts. A trampled road. Death runs. So I go. With steel and strength. Blood shall spatter. Bones to crush. By horn and hoof. Galloping. Who dare kneel? attack me! By home and peace.
Double kill!
Trinket. Blood shall spatter. Yes. A trampled road
Your middle tower is under attack.
with steel and strength. Tremble before me, as I wish. Yes. Shatterbones. Yes. My steel. A killing pace. Yes. Death runs.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Quick death. I fear no beast.
Your middle
So I
tower
go.
is under attack.
Better my blade than theirs. Yes. Shatterbones.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yes. These fools attack me.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Attack to the
Your bottom tower is under attack.
double kill!
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Yes. Who dares challenge? A trampled road. I fear no beast.
Radiant structures are fortified.
A killing pace.
Killing spree!
Yes.
Dominating! Double kill!
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen.
Flush. A caress. Death is gold. Yes.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Steel and strength.
This will come in handy.
things attack me! Blood shall spatter. My blade sings. My horn and hoof. Death runs. Downward strike.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Regeneration. My strength grows. Yes.
Every coin helps.
I fear no beast. Yes. My steel bursts.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Blood shall spatter.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Dares challenge.
Your top tower is under attack.
My horn and hoof. Shatterbones. Break what denied. Service to imbalance. These fools attack me! Yes. Bones to flesh. As I wish. Steel and strength. Attack!
I know it. They, there's a monster. And the
You weren't so damn dead, I think you again.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Fear! A trampled road. Yes. Yes. Galloping. So I go. What are we buying? Bones to crush. Attack! Shatterbones. Attack! As I wish. My steel bursts. Break you. Blood shall spatter. My steel thirsts.
Welcome to the secret shop.
Hacking. A strange, familiar beast you were. Yes. So I go. Yes.
Mega kill!
Blood shall spatter. Dares challenge.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack.
Shatter me.
Your top tower has fallen.
Bones to crush. I fear no beast. Yes. Yes. Shall spatter. Bones to crush. With steel and strength. Yes, oh. Yes, sweet sings my blood. Halt! My steel thirsts. Who dares challenge? Let's bury the hatchet. Yes. Death runs. A trampled road. Shatterbones. I'm done, but heavy. Galloping. Blood shall spatter.
Radiant structures are fortified. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
My blade sings. My withers twitch. Yes.
Killing spree!
As I wish.
Dominating! Double kill!
So I go. These fools attack me. I come by horn and hoof. Yes. With steel and strength. Chop. A trampled road. My strength grows. A lucky find. Shadow. Who dares challenge? Shall spatter. Let's bury the hatchet. Yes. 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 Bones to crush. Shatter bones. Galloping.
Unstoppable!
A trampled road. A caress. I fear no beast. As I wish. So I go. Death runs. Attack!
Your top tower is under attack.
Return to battle. Yes. A traveled road. By horn and hoof. My steel thirsts. Yes. Shatterbones.
The mysteries of the arcane reveal themselves.
Steel and strength. Downward bolt. Gladiators must fall.
Your middle tower is under attack.
By horn and hail. Shatterbones. A killing pace. Let's bury that. All should flee. Death runs. Attack. My steel thirsts. Yes. Who dares challenge?
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
With steel and strength. By horn and hoof.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
You can't catch me? You can't be catched. You can't run from me.
The enemy's top
Yes.
tower has fallen.
My blade sings.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Illusion. Break you. My steel thirsts. Bones to crush. Death runs. Yes. Attack! A killing pays seal and strength. Yes, I fear no beast. As I wish. A caress. Just by horn and dares challenge. So I go. These things attack me.
Enemy's middle tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack.
The crowd shall cheer my name once more.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yes. Yes. Who dares challenge? Chop you open. Shatterbones. My steel thirsts. I fear no beast. A trampled road.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Bones to crush. Death runs. Yes. Lick by horn and hoof. A lucky find. So I go. As I wish. As I wish. These fools attack me! Get down! Ow! Yes. A caress.
Your middle
My
tower
steel
is under attack.
thirsts. A trampled road.
The enemy's bottom tower has
Steel
fallen.
and strength. Attack!
Your middle tower is under attack.
This fight is hard.
The enemy's bottom tower is fallen. Enemy's bottom tower is fallen. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen.
Beast blade. Yes.
Are fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle barracks are under attack. fallen. Your middle tower is under attack.
Let's go hunting.
Thrice the torment. So I go. As I wish. Downward strike. Rush down. Shatter bones.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Attack!
taken apart. You're gonna get this build, and just because I have some fancy technique tubing and chase the US, just actually later there's just set this where you want. 8-inch ultra-wide monitor from LG. As I said before, you can of course also install multiple monitors to the desk, and I'm also going to put links to all the gadgets I'm using here in the description. These monitor arms usually also have some kind of cable management, which makes the whole setup look even cleaner. And here's also another benefit of the back panel with the slot, because it's also where the monitor and speaker cables can simply disappear. Here's my favorite feature about this desk in action. We've probably all hit our head a few times while crawling underneath some desk trying to plug in some power supply, but thanks to the cable tray, installing everything was a breeze this time. These USB hubs also have a hole in them, so they double as a way to pass cables down into the tray. In my case, I want to keep the desk as clean as possible, so the only cable coming out here is for my phone charger. Of course, there's a bunch of cables coming out the back here, and to clean these up somewhat, I'm just sticking on some flat cable channels with double-sided tape. And that was actually the last final step, so the desk is fully set up now, which means it's time to show off the result of all this work. Before I end this video, I just want to quickly go over all the features here. So first, here's the cable management tray again. On the left, I installed a hub with 4 USB 3 ports, which are also fast charging ports. And on the right side, there's a combination hub that has 2 card readers, a USB-C port, a headphone and microphone jacks, and also another 2 USB 3 ports. I also bought this nice spiral USB cable because it doesn't look as messy as a normal cable, so I usually just keep it plugged in here, and then I always have it handy whenever I need to charge my mouse or something. And it also happens to be the right length to charge my headphones while they're hanging from the shelf. Now here's that power strip again, which also installs into one of those 60mm holes. I can simply pull this out whenever I need an outlet for something, and then when it's not in use it just disappears. I think it's a pretty neat idea and actually not too expensive, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well. You might have noticed there's also an additional light here, which is called a screen bar, and these have become quite popular in recent years. It's just a USB powered light that you can stick onto your monitor, and it projects a light in front of it, but without causing any glare or reflections in the screen. And you can also set the color temperature and brightness. And it's a great addition with this setup because it allows me to light the area in front of the screen independently from the rest. So if I want, I can use the RGB lights just as an ambient light for the background and still have a neutral light for the work area. On top of all that, this monitor also happens to have an integrated LED ring, which creates all kinds of fancy effects. So with all these combined, there's a ton of ways of getting different light setups for either work or just hanging out. Then there's of course the monitor arm, which can be set up for all kinds of positions, and these always have a certain minimum gap between the screen and the wall. And that's why I designed the desk to be relatively long from front to back. This gives you a lot of freedom to set the distance from the monitor to the front edge of the desk, however you prefer it. Since there's no monitor stand or even a tabletop mounted monitor arm, whenever I need some space on the desk, I can just simply free up a huge area by just tucking the mouse and keyboard under the screen. I also now have a decent spot where my 3D printer can live and do its thing, and also a bunch of shelf space to put some office stuff and some of my dying plants. And speaking of it, if you wondered about the headphone hangers, I 3D printed those specifically for this desk. They're quite simple and you can just stick as many as you want onto the front edge of the shelf, so now my headphones also have a dedicated parking space. Another neat thing I figured out is that the front edge is also a great place to put notes and to-do lists using magnets. One last custom addition I made off screen is this microphone arm, or rather the mounting solution for it. This arm usually mounts to the desktop, but I wanted to keep that clean, so I came up with something to mount it to the shelf. I turned the cylinder here and welded it to the end of the arm, and then it goes into this block I machined, which can mount anywhere to the edge of the shelf. So when I need the microphone, I can just pull it down from above, and nothing is cluttering the tabletop, and there's no cables hanging anywhere. And when it's not needed, it can also be moved out of the way completely. Alright, that's it for this one. I am really glad I built this thing, and personally I think I can never go back to using a normal desk after this. And maybe I could inspire a few of you to build your own version. If you like this content, you can support me by subscribing or joining my Patreon, or by getting the plants or a shirt, or even by trolling in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching and see you next time.
What's up everyone? Me and Krupa finally found our house, which means I get my own office. That's a big deal because I've had to put my desk in like my bedroom or in our living room the past couple years. So today I am going to do day one of my build, and I'm gonna start off with our accent wall. I'm gonna do a board and batten wall. Before I start painting, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fix up the wall and then go from there. So with that said, let's get into it. This video is going to be part one of my setup, where I'm going to be taking you through how I built this office and put it all together. To start off, I began with the board and batten wall by first masking off the walls I wasn't going to be painting, and then repairing some of the pre-existing holes. By no means am I an expert DIY home repair person, but I do get slightly OCD about not patching holes before painting. For my paint color, I went with the wrought iron gray from Benjamin Moore. I chose to go with a flat interior paint as I love how matte finishes look, plus it's a great way at hiding wall imperfections. The drawback to this finish is that it's not as durable if it were placed in a high traffic area of the house. Luckily, this is my accent wall that will almost never get touched, and I'll likely not have to worry about it. Quick tip, if you have to look back at something multiple times because you're not sure if it's balanced, it probably isn't. Also, wear shoes when you're on a ladder. It's not as fun as it looks barefoot. I
chose to paint the wall prior to adding the boards, but I've also seen others choose to wait to paint until everything was up. Once I was done with 2 coats of paint, I headed over to Lowe's to grab the boards. I went with MDF because it's fairly cheap, already primed, and it's easy to work with. To make this process easier for me, my design consisted of mainly 45-degree cuts using a miter saw. To install the boards to the wall, I used a cordless nailer with 18-gauge 2-inch brad nails. If you didn't get a nailer on Black Friday, then just do what I did and borrow it from one of your buddies that actually did. Most of my time was spent measuring and finding out where to correctly place the boards. There's probably a faster way of doing this, but to help me I used a speed square and laser level when possible. To better secure the boards, I went back around and placed nails where the studs are located. For the times that I didn't have the nailer settings correct, I used a nail punch to get the head below the board surface. To cover the nails and fill the cracks, I used spackle, which worked okay. But if I could go back in time, I would have used wood filler and paintable caulk. Once I got everything cleaned up, I was finally able to paint the boards to match the wall. I wanted to convert my desk into a standing desk, but my issue was that my desktop is very heavy butcher board, it's 8 feet long, and I'm 6'3". What that means is I needed a kit that would have a solid lifting capacity and be able to get tall enough for me to use it comfortably. Luckily I found the Pro Standing Desk frame from Autonomous, which stretches up to 73 inches, which is great for what I was wanting. It can also lift up to 310 pounds and it has plenty of height. The assembly process was pretty straightforward, and once I had the legs completed, I just needed to screw everything together to the bottom of the desk. It's probably recommended that you screw them together while the top is on the floor, but the top is pretty hefty and I didn't want to risk scratching the floor trying to awkwardly flip it over with my fiance. Right, so with this desk, I'm able to save 4 different heights using the desk control system. The way you do it is adjusting the desk to the height that you want, such as how I chose to go with my sitting height and then also my standing height. I then just hold down the M until the numbers start blinking and select either 1, 2, 3, or 4 for what I want to program it to. I kept my Gobi Glide wall lights from my last setup, I just needed to replace the adhesive to install it onto my new wall. With these lights, you mainly just need to plan on where the power source and wires will be located, so I placed them as close to the outlet and ground as possible and used these clips to keep the wires somewhat out of the way and in place. In my last setup, I kept my desk on my IKEA Alex drawers. I still wanted to utilize them, but unfortunately the rubber bumpers caused some damage, so I wanted to do some quick patchwork. It's not perfect, but it got the job done. I absolutely love my 38-inch LG monitor, but I wanted a little more real estate for my work. So what I did was I converted my other 27-inch LG monitor into a vertical monitor. If you haven't tried a vertical monitor in your setup yet, I highly recommend testing it out for a month or more to see how you like it. In order to mount these monitors, I still went with two budget-friendly mounts that definitely get the job done, but for my 38-inch monitor, I'm highly considering upgrading to an Ergotron mount soon.
Alright, so right here, this wall right here, I'm going to put the pegboard that I'm going to use for a few different reasons. The main being as like a mini charging station and an area where I can like basically have easy access to a bunch of things.
Mounting these by myself wasn't super easy, which is why I had to be creative with figuring out how I was going to determine where the screws needed to be placed. To perfectly space these, I just used one of the hooks I got from an Amazon kit to ensure that I could mount something across both panels. You'll want to hopefully get some of the screws into a stud, but at the very least be sure to use the drywall anchors that they come with, or else the panels will fall off fairly easily depending on what you put on it. I'm pretty sure IKEA's panel board accessories don't actually fit a board like this, so I had to get creative with some of the accessories that I chose. One of which were the trays. So I saw someone actually post a review on Amazon where they added fake turf to give it a unique look, and I wanted to try it out myself. In order to actually mount this tray, I needed to screw it in using a screw and nut. If you're not sure what size to use, just do what I did and trace the hole size and depth. Head over to your local hardware store and find what will work. Not only did I want this panel board to be used as a charging station and area where I could easily access items that I commonly use, but since it also took up a fair amount of wall space, I also wanted it to work as sort of a showpiece. To help it stand out, I added some Gobi light strips. I mounted them so that the lights would face towards the inside of each panel to maximize how much of the board would actually light up without seeing the individual LEDs. To easily charge everything, I mounted this power strip, which includes 3 USB ports as well. I tested out the small metal hook accessory kits you can get off Amazon or Home Depot, but I wasn't a huge fan of them. I did find these coated hooks that work perfect for hanging things like my headsets, controllers, and a ton of other items. I got several comments asking how I mounted my live edge wood art piece in my first video. Originally, I used like a jank version of a French hook system using old pieces of wood, but this time I wanted to mount it properly using this hanging system that can hold up to 100 pounds. To help it stand off the wall a little more, I used some of the extra MDF boards from the board and batten wall. On the bottom piece, I added a little cushion to help prevent it from scratching up the wall. I didn't show it here, but I reapplied more RGB light strips to help the piece pop a little. This office actually has fairly high ceilings and it caused my voice to sound very echoey. So I used a laser level and installed these acoustic boards from Geek Acoustics. They actually ended up working super well for this office space, and on top of that, they look super nice compared to using traditional foam pieces. We have an extremely intimidating security guard that protects my office when needed. In order to make sure he had somewhere to sit, we got him his own little corner chair, which actually ended up being a great place for me to place our corner light. For additional storage, I still use the IKEA storage unit that has held up great since I got it. And not to show off, but I did find a trash can that matches it almost perfectly. One last tip for those of you working on your own office space that I wanted to throw in here. You may have already seen this before, but if you're struggling to hang an item like my iPhone art piece, use masking tape to draw where the holes and center point need to go. And then you'll be able to easily install the screws or nails where you're planning on putting it. Alright, so there you have it. That is part 1 of my new office build. I'll leave links to all the items I used in this video in the description below. I genuinely hope that you enjoyed this content. If you have any tips or suggestions, just let me know down below. I'll be working on the next part of my office setup where I cover all my tech that I use and why I chose it. Be sure to like and subscribe down below, and with that said, I'll see you all next time. Paw? Paw? Good boy. What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I am starting this video off a little differently, and I'm going to try to show you the authentic version of my desk setup, which right now, as you can tell, it's kind of a mess. What you may have noticed in my past couple videos is I have not really put much effort towards cable management, and I have not done a good job at keeping my office organized after what you see in the videos. So I am gonna do my best today to tackle that. I'm also gonna show you some of the new things I've added to my setup, like usual, just to give you some more inspiration for your own setup. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into it with all of the cable management and what's inside these boxes, and then we'll go from there. To get this mess cleaned up, I wanted a fresh start, so everything had to come off. Even though this under desk tray worked well for the past couple of years, it didn't hide my cable mess, so it had to go. To fill the screw holes, I just used some Minwax wood filler, but watching this now, I probably could have filled in the indents as well. This step isn't 100% necessary, but I really didn't want to leave my desk a mess underneath. To get the leftover adhesive off, I used Gooby Gone, a scraper, and a lot of patience. My replacement cable tray is this long metal black option that I bought off Amazon. If you also have a butcher block top, you absolutely must use a drill bit or else you most likely will not be able to get the screw in. To ensure that you don't go all the way through your desk, just measure the drill bit off with the screw and use tape as a stopping point. Once done, installation was easy enough. Turning the desk over, not so much. I've seen some comments asking what I do to keep my desk clean, and since I had the desk away from the wall, I wanted to take this moment and show you all. If you don't know, dark board and batten walls can collect dust pretty easy, so if you don't have a rechargeable air compressor, get one. These things are a lifesaver. For the floors, I mainly keep them clean using a cordless Dyson vacuum, and we also have an automated Shark vacuum that runs about 2 or 3 times a week. I was going to say I also use a steam cleaner for our floors, but after I added these clips, I learned that you really probably should not use this on engineered hardwood floors like mine, which sucks because they are so much better than traditional mops. Luckily, nothing's been damaged as of yet, but just wanted to keep this part in here just in case anyone else didn't know. As for helping prevent dust on my Alex drawers and my desk, I mainly use Pledge Multi-Surface to help attract less dust over a longer period of time because dusting all the time, it just sucks. Running cables down a standing desk is kind of tricky because you have to factor in the different heights the cables need to go up. To help it look a little cleaner, I added this cable management vertebrae design from Vivo. It's kind of got a little cheaper plastic feel to it, but once I had it all set up, it actually added a pretty sick design element to my desk. Don't believe me? Watch it in action with this uplifting choir sound. Yeah. When it comes to cable management, the first few items were just the beginning. One of my biggest new additions, and I mean big, as in the box was 5 or 6 feet and weighed about 30 something pounds, is my newest desk shelf from Hexcal. While this does have a hefty price tag and it's definitely not for everyone, I will say that of everything I've seen on the market, this is hands down the creme de la creme of desk shelves. Hexcal Studio is a 47.3 inch by 8.7 inch unibody unit that's made using durable, high-quality materials including polished stainless steel and aircraft-grade aluminum. Inside the box you get the basics, which includes the Hexcal Studio, 2 USB-A bridging cables, a USB-A to USB-C cable, cable management strips, and the instruction booklet. As I mentioned in a previous video, I want to merge design and function. In this case, the sleek modern design merges extremely well with my entire desk setup, but from a function perspective, this gave me the ability to do a lot. So let's go through everything. What really makes this shelf different is its cable management area, which you can access by taking the top off. Inside, you'll first find the metal leg extenders in case you want it a little higher to store items like a Mac Mini underneath the shelf. On the backside of the Hexcal Studio is where you'll find the backbone of the entire station, which is extremely clean cable management slots and power supply system that supports up to 14 different devices depending on how you use it. Inside this area, I was able to tuck away all the cables and power bricks so that they're no longer showing on the outside. To get it right, you just gotta tinker around and then figure out which way you want the cables to route through. Once I got that all set up, I was able to put all my tech back on my desk. I covered the majority of my tech choices in my last video, so if you want to check that out, I'll put a link down in the description.
Another huge perk of this product is it merges a few other products into one station. First off, it includes a wireless charging area on the left side that gave me the ability to get rid of my phone charger, and it meant one less cable for me. It also includes a 16-level light that you can technically use to remove the need for a monitor light. That said, I still kept my BenQ light mainly for the backlight portion. If you use your desk setup a lot at night, it's definitely recommended having some form of light to help with the eye strain. There's a lot of options with Hexcal's light system, so you can play around with it and even save your favorite settings to avoid having to reset them all the time. Finally, Hexcal also features a few extra USB charging ports as well as 2 USB bridging ports. Overall, I love this edition and hope to see more options like this in the future, especially now that my setup has grown so much that cable management continues to become a bigger and bigger element. A new tech addition to my setup comes from Razer's newest low-profile keyboard, the Deathstalker V2 Pro. This was literally just released at end of July, so I'll take you through the unboxing process so you get a better idea of what comes inside. This option can be wirelessly connected via Bluetooth 5.0 that you can use to switch between different devices, or you can connect it with the Hyperspeed wireless dongle that is all about low latency. Razer started to get into the lower profile keyboards with sleek modern designs, and I'm all for it. The battery life here is about 40 hours, so I don't have to charge it very often at all. The main reason I love it is because of the low profile design. I've been super into the black with green blacklight option. The ABS keycaps are really nice quality. I personally really like the typing experience with it, especially since it's not loud. And also I realize I am someone that will always want a full keyboard, mainly because of the amount of times that I have to enter data for work. My main complaint here is the lack of support for Mac OS. This keyboard can be modified using Razer Synapse 3 software, which is unfortunately only supported on Windows. I actually really love this keyboard, so if Razer is watching this, please consider giving Mac users options as well. With that said, I 100% understand that this keyboard is also developed for gamers, in which I do plan on building a custom PC sometime soon, so I wanted to show you some of the other features real quick. As I mentioned, this keyboard is all about low latency by using low profile optical switches with 0 debounce delay and less than 1 millisecond hyperspeed connection. Outside of that, it also features a really nice aluminum alloy media button and multi-function roller. I actually prefer this keyboard way more than the MX mechanical keyboard. I just really hope that eventually they come out with Mac OS support. To go with my new keyboard, GroveMade hooked me up with a few new additions, including this full-size handmade walnut and leather wrist rest that goes perfect with my walnut butcher block top and all the black aesthetics I have in almost every corner of my office. And to help me with all my to-do list items and ideas that I've been thinking of, they also sent me over this matte black pen with the walnut stand along with the dotted notebook. I specifically went with the dotted version because outside of to-do lists, I prefer to draw some of my ideas out. Next up is an upgrade that I've been wanting to make for so long, but price was always a factor for this one, and that is I finally got the Herman Miller Embody chair. The chair comes fully assembled, but of course I couldn't fit it through my office door, so I had to unbox it in the hallway. There's a ton of great reviews on YouTube you can find on this chair, and I now understand the hype. I may do a more in-depth review on this later, but the best way I can put it for this chair, it just feels right. I was able to do several different customizations to it, even though I really didn't have to out of the box, but after I did so, it was able to perfectly conform to my back, which was exactly what I was looking for. For the majority of people, I get it, the price is a little too steep for this one, but someone once mentioned to me that you only get one spine. As someone that has been dealing with back and posture issues with my last few chairs, it was well worth it for me. But outside of that, the back side of this chair, it just looks sick and it adds another design element to my office aesthetic. Overall, besides the price, this chair is near perfect in my opinion. If any of you have seen my smart home series videos, I am working on automating as much as possible, including the shades in our house. So I finally decided to switch out my office shades. My current ones are the heavy options that I have to manually open and close, which, as all of us lazy people know, is the absolute worst. Plus, something always breaks, including this. So I decided to try a brand out you can find on Amazon called Ulax or Yolax, I'm not really sure. Basically, I just needed to know the inside dimension of my window and choose the style and color that I wanted. Installation's super easy, you just need to mount the top brackets a few inches in from each side and then push the blinds in. Once installed, I just needed to use the pre-programmed remote to get it going. So this version is the rechargeable option. I just have to charge it every few months using a USB cable, which is so much nicer than having an exposed cable all the time. These do require an Amazon device that has Zigbee. It's not super easy to get set up with Alexa, but it's not really an issue once you read the directions. And again, it still has the remote in case you don't want to use Alexa. Once I got it all set up, I was able to put it on an automated schedule to open it slightly at sunrise to give my plants some sunlight and then close it at sunset for privacy. I also have a command for when I have a certain visitor that will open the blinds ever so slightly so that he can guard over our neighborhood like a hawk. Alexa, Dexter is here. And now it's time to address the biggest monster in my office. The catch-all be-all section that I've not treated with much respect. I'm talking about my super messy, completely disorganized Alex drawers. And no, I actually didn't alter this to make this look any worse. It is just literally the worst it's ever been because we've been pretty busy these past few months. So after watching a bunch of videos, I've decided to try several different methods of organizing these Alex drawers and see what works best for me. Before I go on, yes, I know some people don't like Alex drawers, but honestly, I've had no issues with mine. I like the look. I get that it's overly used in desk setups, but for me, it gets the job done, and I like mine. Alright, just like my cable management, I wanted to start from scratch. I began by first removing everything and putting it all on a table. After everything was out, my method I chose to go with was to group everything by category and remove things I knew I needed to go somewhere else, or that just wouldn't bring me much joy, as some would say. An organization tip that I learned was that if everything has a home, it'll be easier to keep it organized. So I decided that I wanted to custom make the drawer where I kept some of the tools that I frequently use in my office. I wanted to do this by custom making dividers along with using Kaizen foam. To start off, I laid out everything to get a better idea of where each item would go and how I'd go about doing the dividers. I custom made the dividers using 2-inch poplar wood that I got from Lowe's. I chose to cut them with slots so that they could lock into each other and keep them sturdy yet removable if needed. There's better ways of cutting the slots, but all I had was my miter saw, so I made it work. I still wanted it to look like it was part of my office, so I painted each piece by hanging them with a tiny nail in an area that would not be visible and spray painting them using a matte black paint. Obviously, I probably should have opened the garage door a little more for ventilation, and maybe I should have wore gloves, but I mean, art is art. I also added a rubber mat to the base of the drawer to add a layer of protection and keep everything from sliding around too much. What I was most excited about here was trying out Kaizen foam for this project. For those of you that don't know, Kaizen foam is basically just multi-layered foam that you can trace and cut out the item that you want to put in it by peeling away layers of the foam. It's mainly used for tool storage and in factories to help ensure tools are never misplaced, but I wanted to give it a shot in my office. Typically you would use the Kaizen foam to fill up the entire drawer, but in my case I only had a few slots I wanted to use it in, so I started by cutting the first slot out. And because this version was pretty thick, I was able to tear it in half to reuse for a later time. I then traced out the screwdriver that my dad handmade me, which I'll post videos on my Instagram and TikTok for those of you that want to see more content. I then just started cutting out layer by layer based on how deep I wanted it to sit. I then repeated this step with my pliers. It actually got a little addicting doing this once I started getting the hang of it. For my top drawer, which I knew would be my heaviest usage drawer, I wanted to have easy access to all my USB cables. So I got this acrylic separator from Amazon and filled it out with the essential USB items. To make sure each cable had its own defined spot, I bought this pretty cheap labeler that I'm pretty sure was like $10 or $12, and I labeled each one. I'll leave links down in the description below for everything that you've seen in this video today. If there's anything I'm missing, just let me know down in the comments. Honestly, you just get to a point where you just want to label everything after you start doing this. Please also don't forget to congratulate Dexter for being promoted to head of security of my office. He's done a fantastic job. I've never been safer. Kaizen foam is surprisingly not the cheapest item for organization, so an alternative I wanted to try out was using foam mats that I got at Michael's Arts and Crafts store. Not only was I wanting to try this out as a method for organizing my Alex drawers, but I wanted to see if I could make it into kind of a showpiece with my Apple products. So just like with my other drawer, I placed everything on the mat to figure out my layout. Once I figured out what I wanted to do, I traced it all and cut through it. If the products here were a little thicker, I could technically glue a few pieces of foam together and cut it out from there. This process took a fair amount of focus and some time, and it wasn't as easy as the Kaizen foam, but still relatively satisfying, especially for the price. One other trick I learned was that you can use a different color foam for the base area that I attached using spray adhesive so that when you remove an item, it will show more easily as a sign that it's missing. I used a light gray here, but I suggest a brighter color if you want it to stick out more. This was my first attempt with it, so I feel like I have some room for improvement, but overall I was pretty happy with this method. Organizing my Alex drawers actually became a mammoth of a project for me because I wanted everything to be functional and sustainable from an organization standpoint over time. So I do have plans of continuing to try several methods out and doing a full video on this sometime in the future. So if you want, be sure to subscribe to my channel down below if it's something that you'd like to see, or let me know down in the comments what else you'd like me to cover in future videos. With that said, that about wraps up my dream desk setup for 2022. Thanks for watching this video. I have a wedding to get ready for, so I'll see you guys after that. Was that too much? Meh. What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you thought I was done with desk setup videos for this year, well, so did I. But I couldn't keep my hands off of the desk setup that we had in our master bedroom, hence the title of
this video. It says master. I think I titled it master something, I don't know. Well, I just couldn't keep my hands off of this desk setup that my wife had in our bedroom, and while I have my own sweet setup, her desk kind of had no function to it. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through how we did a complete makeover of her desk, and it's a long one, so let's just go ahead and get into it. While Krupa's corner over here works perfectly well for most people, it had a few issues I just couldn't overlook. For one, we never use it. That's kind of a red flag. But from a build perspective, the chair may look nice, but it's constantly having bolts come loose, and it doesn't have the best back support. Also, the desk over here, while the shot doesn't really show it well, the legs keep tapering in like it's ready to implode any day. So with this makeover, I wanted to get us started with a blank slate by moving everything out. For the desk, we chose to go with a standing desk from FlexiSpot. Outside of having the ability of converting the desk from sitting mode to standing mode, one of the nice perks for us is that with myself being 6'3" and Krupa being 5'2.5", it's nice to tailor the desk height for even when we're sitting. We chose to go with the white base with bamboo top. I kind of wanted this setup to be relaxing and cozy yet productive. I also wanted it to be night and day difference from a visual perspective of my office, as my office has more darker tones. Assembling this desk was fairly simple, minus the time I decided to skip one of the instructions and also the time that I installed one of the parts a little too far away from where it needed to plug in at. In my defense, the instructions for that portion weren't super clear. Here it is. Here's the moment I realized I was just a tad bit too far away. The desk also includes a bunch of clip ties, so I suggest using those so that you don't have all the wires drooping down. Once all was assembled, I was able to test it out and then adjust the height settings to our preference for sitting versus standing so that we don't have to manually adjust it every single time. Next up, I finally got to replace the chair. If you feel you're going to spend a ton of time at your desk, I highly recommend investing in a decent chair. The chair that we went with is the Ergo Chair Pro Plus from Autonomous. It's not the cheapest option out there, but it's roughly a third of the price of some of the other options you'll see. The
The assembly process for this one's pretty straightforward, with the hardest part probably being just attaching the wheels. Other than that, it takes very minimal amount of time. We went with the TPE backing version, as for some reason our upstairs area gets pretty hot during the day, so it's nice to have an option that keeps you cool. But the main reason we got this chair was because of the back support. On top of that, it actually looks pretty sweet, so that's kind of a perk. The autonomous chair was not the only one we added though. Krupa likes to read way more than I do, so we wanted a nice corner to relax in. We actually took a risk on this chair. We found it on Amazon, it looked awesome and super comfortable, but it only had 2 reviews, and we've also never ordered furniture like this off of Amazon. Luckily, it actually arrived pretty quick, and we were not disappointed. This is probably one of my favorite chairs in the house now, and I didn't realize it, but it's actually made with memory foam, so to say it's comfortable is an understatement. The only thing that they really need to include with this is potentially a footrest or ottoman. Other than that, we love everything about it. The monitor that we went with this setup is LG's newest 32-inch 4K smart monitor, the 32SQ780S. Visually, this monitor was a perfect fit for this setup, as we wanted it to be as clean and minimal as possible. What I love is that LG actually includes a perfect match monitor ergo stand that works great at quickly and easily adjusting the height and position. This is ideal for us because, as I mentioned earlier, we have a little bit of a height difference. Another nice thing is that it also makes it extremely easy to switch to a vertical mode in case I ever want to add a second monitor or use it in unison with our MacBook. I plan to do a full review on this monitor in the future, but to give you a quick preview of it, this monitor is a 32-inch 60Hz 4K display. What makes this monitor stand out is that it's also a smart monitor. What I mean by smart monitor is that we can use it without having to connect it to a PC, as it's equipped with the latest WebOS, similar to what you would see with a smart TV. So if we don't feel like connecting the laptop back in and booting it up, we can easily access streaming services such as Netflix, Prime Video, Disney+, Apple TV, and of course Dexter's favorite, YouTube. I'm hoping that we continue this trend of seeing more and more smart monitors on the market, as well as companies including a remote. If you are interested in learning more about this monitor, be sure to subscribe to my channel, as I'll do a full review here in the next few weeks. As a little wedding present, our friends at GroveMade hooked us up with 3 perfect additions to the desk. First off, to help control some of the clutter that will be added to the setup over time, we got a medium-sized matte white desk shelf. A little pro tip: if you're ever considering a desk shelf, whether it be GroveMade or somewhere else, always check the dimensions and measure it out. I really wanted the large shelf, but it honestly would have overtaken the space if we did. Next up, to save some space, we got the Maple MacBook dock. This allows us to set the laptop up vertically in clamshell mode and easily plug in any cables that we need to. And finally, the last addition from Grove made was the wool felt desk pad. No matter what, I really feel that all desk setups should have some sort of desk pad, or at the very least a mouse pad. One of the nice perks of getting a wool desk pad is that if your space gets cold during the winter, the wool actually kind of helps to warm the area up once you get settled in. To help make cable management easier to deal with, I got the 2-pack white cable management trays from Vivo. It's a very simple and clean design that uses 2 screws each for installation. But to be honest, I do kind of wish they would make the design a little easier to install. The bamboo top from FlexiSpot is pretty solid quality compared to some of the options you might find at IKEA, so I recommend using a drill bit first, as the screws Vivo typically includes can struggle with installation. Just make sure that you don't drill all the way through, so a pro tip is to use a piece of tape as a marker for when you need to stop. While I don't really show it much here, I also used a few other clips and Velcro strips to fasten everything to the top and avoid unnecessary hanging cables. To help with cable management as well, I got this surge protector power strip and screwed it in near the trays. This one's actually pretty nice just because it has different ways to plug everything in, along with additional USB ports to avoid having to buy extra charger blocks. Alright, let's get into some of the tech that I've added. I wanted to try out a budget mouse this time since I already used the MX Master 3 mouse. So for this setup I went with Logitech's G305 as it was on sale for $39 when I bought it, and it honestly didn't disappoint. It's very lightweight, has 6 programmable buttons, it's extremely responsive, and it looks super clean. If I had to be picky, the only 2 areas I'd love to see improvement would be implementing a rechargeable battery and possibly improving the scroll wheel. Other than that, for $40, this mouse was perfect for this setup. I also paired it up with my Delta Hub wrist rest, as it still feels weird not using it nowadays. For the keyboard, I'm currently testing out a few others right now, so I decided to move my MX mechanical keyboard with tactile switches over to this setup. It's a pretty nice keyboard with great reviews online, but I wish the keycaps were made of a different material. It's also slightly higher in price than I'd like it to be. Personally, I still love using my original MX Keys keyboard that is right around $60 to $70 less than this one. Next up is actually one of my favorite new additions that I carry around with me to work and between these 2 desk setups at our house, and it's the Zen Slabs Quick Keys. I love this thing especially because of the wheel. It's wireless, rechargeable, and fully customizable based on what program I'm in. I use Premiere Pro primarily and love to easily rotate to specific cut sections of each clip. One thing that I'd like to maybe see is making the shortcut keys more similar to a keyboard. Other than that, this is one of those accessories that makes an awesome gift for people that are big into desk setups. I still had the Tobii Nun docking station from my first setup video, and it still works great. I believe they have a newer version now that only requires 1 USB-C cable to be plugged in rather than how this version requires 2, so I'd suggest that one or a CalDigit option as well. Another item I'm testing out to make smart products easier for both of us to use is the smart buttons from Flick. I'm using these in my other office setup to easily turn off all my RGB lights, but in here I mainly use it as an easy way of playing and pausing music when it's played on our Amazon speakers. That said, there's a ton of ways to use these that I plan to cover more in future videos.
The last piece of tech we added is one of my favorites from a design and usage perspective, the BenQ e-reading lamp. Once unboxed, it's super easy to put together. We love this because we mainly use it to light up the desk at night, but also we can rotate it and use it for Krupa whenever she wants to read books at the chair. The lamp's curved design also helps to light up a wider area than a lot of other standard desk lamps that you'll see. The lamp has a screen mode where we can adjust the light to be above our monitor in place of a standard monitor light. And there's also a reading mode for when she wants to read at the chair or at the desk. Both modes are pre-programmed and can be activated by holding down on the metal circle on top for about 2 seconds. The knob on top allows us to adjust the brightness and temperature for our personal preferences as well. Outside of how it can be used, the design of the lamp is just overall super clean and really helps this setup stand out. In my dream office setup, you may remember the board and batten wall that I did. Well, I wanted something like that to be tied into this setup without it being as dramatic. So for this, I decided to make a custom 3-piece art set using wood, stain, and paint. Each piece is approximately 2 foot by 2 foot, where I use thin trim pieces and then finally frame it up. To minimize the amount of patchwork, I attached all the thin strips using CA glue. Initially, I used activator as well, but it sets up extremely quick, leaving little to no room for error. So I decided to just stick with the CA glue. I wanted to keep the design simple and base it off my board and batten wall. I may make a full tutorial on this if anyone is interested, but the general design is only 45 and 90 degree cuts, which makes it all easy. For the trim, I used a poplar wood and wanted to try to whitewash stain it. It took 1 coat of stain, but I wanted it to have more of a natural wood color than have the white overbear the look. So I ended up using 80 grit sandpaper to bring back some of the poplar's natural color. For the paint color, I went with a matte farmhouse white where I applied 2 coats to each piece. Somehow it worked out to where I used exactly 1 can of spray paint. To attach the art pieces, I used wood glue and 1.5 inch brad nails. To finalize each piece, I attach 1 hook to the backside directly in the middle towards the top.
I'm really OCD about hanging pieces like this on our walls, so here's a time lapse of what the process looked like. I tried out several methods to ensure that it was as closely centered and perfectly spaced as possible.
去年双12购买了一款31.5寸的显示器 AOC U32N3C， 一直用到今年的2月份，感觉很不错。上个月也发了视频和大家分享过，但是这个月我感觉我的眼快看瞎了，最夸张的时候看屏幕10分钟眼睛就胀痛。31.5英寸的显示器工作起来确实是太费眼了。HDR10 这玩意儿实在是害我不浅呐！大家好，我是老杨，今天这期视频呢，来和大家聊聊在工作效率方面，27寸和31.5寸的显示器到底用起来咋样？关于 HDR10 到底咋样，这事儿我得从去年的双12说起。话说，咱不是一怒之下买了显示器嘛，到货之后呢，没抢着显卡，满身怨气，咱也不能迁怒于他人呢，一气之下就打起了排位赛。天天就是撸啊撸和大革命来回切换的玩，一直摆烂到年底。开年来了嘛，买卡这事儿吧，我也看淡了。5700XT 比我之前的1070 Ti都强，知足了。就寻思着每天把精力放在工作上， 每天下班回家后，开始在电脑上吧里呼里看看热闹，然后再写写文档之类的。写着写着，就迫不得已需要冲浪收集一点点专业知识，每天可能花3-4个小时冲浪吧。过了差不多2个星期的样子，不行了，眼睛直接罢工了，盯着屏幕10分钟。我去把之前的视频认真的看了一遍，发现拍视频前后的唯一区别就是开了电脑的 HDR 模式。之前做视频的时候为了对比，开了之后就没关。显示器买回来之后一直没仔细研究过，所以没有很在意这个 HDR。一直到后面有粉丝提醒我说这个显示器还没分享过呢，所以就有了那期对比27寸和31.5寸显示器的视频。当时对比的时候，我也是第一次使用这个 HDR。做视频的那天真的是被惊艳到了，所以就一直开着了。万万没想到，这 HDR 真的是害我不浅。Windows 里面的 HDR 我没有打开，因为偏色太严重了，灰蒙蒙的，所以就只开了显示器的 HDR 模式，颜色真的很艳丽。单从视觉上来说，看得很爽。虽然有些地方过饱和，有些地方有些失真，但因为我个人比较喜欢看浓艳的色彩，所以也没有太在意。后来我又尝试把系统的 HDR 打开试了一段时间。不仅眼疲劳没有改善，连视觉效果也没有了。整个屏幕在系统的 HDR 经过映射之后，整体偏黄、发灰、变暗。就这样，我还坚持了1个多星期。后来实在是无法，第一次使用这个 HDR， 做视频的那天真的是被惊艳到了，所以就一直开着了。万万没想到，这 HDR 真只开了显示器的 HDR 模式，颜色真的很艳丽。单从视觉上来说，看得很爽。虽然有些地方，后来我又尝试把系统的 HDR 打开试了一段时间，不仅眼疲劳没有改善，连视觉效果也没有了。整个屏幕在系统的 HDR 经过映射之后，整体偏黄、发灰、变暗。就这样，我还坚持了1个多星期。后来实在是无法忍受了，就全部都关了，显示器全部默认的状态用。眼疲劳在第2天就得到了极大的改善。合着买了个带 HDR10的显示器，买了个寂寞。后面稍微研究了下这玩意儿，目前市面上所谓的 HDR10、400、600，基本很难让显示器的观感得到很好的视觉效果，因为它们的认证标准极其的简单粗暴，亮度、色域等参数，厂家只需要参数达标就能认证了。而 HDR 的效果好坏，不仅取决于显示器的面板素质和调教，还与使用的系统以及呈现画面的软件都密不可分。也就是说，其中的任何一个环节拉胯，那就全完蛋。就算是 Mini LED 乃至于 OLED 屏，也无法很好的在 Windows 上改善这一现象。第一是系统方面，很难去在软硬件方面达成一致，系统的优化我是体验不出来。第二是在使用的方面，如果 OLED 显示器和 HDR 偏远都具备了，可能会有一次很好的观感体验。HDR 偏远都具备了，可能会有一次很好的观感体验。但是你在浏览网页办公时呢？
执政官，局长不在听吗？
受损区域名单已更新，请注意绕行。 动人员报告之前，请先查阅已知的战争伤亡人员名单。
听听吧，执政官。
能听到吗，执政官？
执政官，执政官。
赞成者胜出。
听听吧，执政官。
求求你，执政官。
如发现敌对势力大规模集结，务必立即向最近的警卫汇报。
执政官。
执政官，
执政官，听听吧，听听吧，执政官。
执政官，
执政官，听听吧，执政官。
求求你，执政官。
北风区域暴力事件频发，市民请勿靠近，市政机构已紧急介入处理。
能听到吗，执政官？
执政官，执政官，执政官，求你，执政官，执政官，
执政官，
能听到吗？执政官，执政官，听人民的声音，求求您，执政官，